What's going on, everybody? It's the YouTube Troy, aka Papa Berto, and given how much hype there is on Storm 4, I wanted to actually just make a top 5 list of things to expect on Storm 4, simply because there's a lot of hype. Obviously, it's a lot of people expecting the game, and the game's about to drop pretty soon, so you know what, let me just start out with this shit. Number 1, share button Narutubers. Now, we all fucking know that Storm 4 is gonna be mostly played on PlayStation 4. So you can bet your ass you're gonna be seeing these Narutubers pop up out of nowhere, try and use the share factory and the share button in order to make videos. Now, I'm not trying to say nothing about the people that have to use the share button, because some people can't afford a capture card or basic recording equipment to be able to provide videos to YouTube and get an audience. The whole issue I have with this, though, is that there are a lot of players who love trying to bounty hunt people. That's what I call them bounty hunters. They love trying to find players that are known in the community, and they try to beat them so they can, put them up on YouTube and expose them. And you guys have seen the kind of crappy videos they make. They make a video of them beating some well-known player, putting up on YouTube, say stupid shit, talk shit, and they do it. This is how they do it at the moment, okay? They either use a goddamn potato with wires to record it. They either use a fucking World War II survivor shoe to record their shit. Or they might even use a Nokia phone and, fucking close their blinds and shit in their room to be able to record the matches. Now, because the PlayStation 4 offers the ability for you to record the last 15 minutes or whatever you played, I think it's gonna be a lot easier for these people to quote unquote expose, and I think they're gonna thrive in the community, and I don't like that. I think it's gonna make the community worse. As it is, the Storm community doesn't really have that much of a prestigious reputation as it is, so I think these people are just gonna make it worse, honestly. Number 2, the counter. Raise your hand if you've read on a tweet or a YouTube comment or anywhere else, "Oh, I'm so fucking glad that the counter is gone in Storm 4. I'm so glad that the counter, isn't in Storm 4 anymore." All this bullshit. Okay, let me just tell you something right now, man. The counter, it's still in Storm 4. Mind you, it doesn't do the same shit as in Revolution, but it's still in Storm 4. I want you guys to understand that very clearly. I'm saying this, okay? I'm only mentioning the counter because I've already seen what it does. And for what I've seen in the gameplay, it can still be used to piss people off, okay? You know what? I can honestly just make the same comparison, okay? This new counter in Storm 4 is like getting hit with a Rasengan by Naruto, Sage Naruto or Minato or even Jiraiya. And what I mean by that is, when you get hit with a Rasengan, you roll to the other side of the map and you can't do the ground recovery. You can't do it. You have to roll like a little bitch and then wait for the animation to stop so you can get up. And I feel like people can really use this counter to be a bitch simply because, they can, for example, run away and bait you into the counter when they're out of subs, and then that can help them buy time to get their subs back or their chakra or even their supports. Honestly, the counter, in my opinion, I feel is gonna be just as prevalent as in Storm Revolution, sadly enough. Number 3, multiple rounds. Now, this is a refreshing new addition to the Storm series. And at the same time, I feel like it's a double-edged sword of sorts, because of the simple fact that, in the good side, you're gonna be able to fight against the same player. If you don't know their playstyle, you can kind of adapt to it on the second round. How many times in the past Storm games have you lost against somebody simply because you didn't know how they played, and that kind of caught you off guard and you lost the match because it's just one round? Now, with this 2-round setup, you can kind of get a feel of how they play on the first round, and then kind of just make changes here and there to your playstyle on the second round, and even win the match if possible. Now, on the bad side, I feel that it could be a bad thing simply because when you fight somebody that is not enjoyable to fight against, or just somebody that's laggy, so on and so forth, that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue because you're gonna have to fight this dude 2 whole rounds, or you're gonna have to rage quit. And I feel that on that side is kind of bad because, let's be honest, on Revolution, on Generation, on Storm 3, on Storm 2, just 1 round was bad enough where if, the game was just transmitting every frame, that was horrible, dude. You had to fucking just go and grind through that 5 minutes. I think it was like 5 to 6 minutes at a time sometimes. Or you had to rage quit. Either one works. But of course, we don't want rage quits on the record. At least the people that aren't rage quitters, right? So I feel that, it has its good and its bad side. Number 4, extra content and possible updates. Now, the game has already had a season pass announced, and we're gonna be getting, more characters, we're gonna be getting more side story content, and that actually adds up to a lot more hours to enjoy on the Naruto Storm 4 game. Now, the one thing though that I wanted to really focus this on is the possible updates that they might come out while the season pass is still something that's relevant when the game is out. And you know what? Bandai Namco does have a history of kind of releasing compatibility updates between each pack and fixing little things here and there. For example, on Xenoverse, whenever each pack came out, they would have a little compatibility update for everybody that played the game, and they would patch a few things like the broken ultimates and whatnot. So I'm really hoping they step it up and do the same thing with Storm 4. Number 5. Improved visuals. Since Suikoden 2 decided to just basically not support the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, they made the game so it could be used for the current gen consoles only. So this is basically just for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And you know what? The game is way better. It looks way better than, Storm Revolution and Storm 3. In the Storm 3 days, you were happy with just the 720p. But now that we have the PlayStation 4 and the other consoles, I feel that we can enjoy 1080p a lot better now. And you know what? It took them a little while because Revolution could have been out for the PlayStation 4, but because they actually kind of focused on the last gen consoles, they actually missed a really big opportunity there. Now, I also feel they did improvements to the battle system, although I don't feel it has anything to do with it being on the PS4 or the current gen consoles, I should say. But regardless, I still think I needed to mention that because the game does look like a very big step up from the past Storm game. Alright, that's it guys. I only wanted to share this because I was tired of just doing live ranked and the regular discussions that I do, the cookie cutter discussions. I wanted to just do something different, alright? So I hope you guys enjoyed, and obviously some of this shit might not happen. Although I'm pretty sure it will, it might not happen because guess what? I'm not a fortune teller. I'm only just throwing it out there because I feel it might happen. Now, I really hope that I'm wrong about the counter, because if I'm not, dude, that's gonna be a bitch. You guys, everybody that was hyped for Storm 4 simply because of the counter being removed, wow, man. If that shit turns out to be just as annoying, oh man, people are gonna just fucking raise pitchforks. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Peace.